Welcome to the free Super Tips Premier League tipping challenge, and this week we've got ex-West Ham, Everton, England, super
and a few
striker,
others.
Tony Cottee.
How you doing, Dean?
Yeah, good. So I've explained the rules to you. Yeah, we're going to
Yep.
cover the 5 big games of the Premier League weekend, and we're going to start with one of your old clubs, West Ham versus Manchester City. Saturday 3 o'clock, and we've got West Ham versus Manchester City. Now, West Ham, quite an attacking team in general, but what we've noticed is when they play the elite clubs, they tend to sit back a bit more, try and catch them on the break. They've obviously played Tottenham at home this year. It was 1-0. Chelsea was 0-0. So we think we might, going to possess those sort of tactics with City coming to town, obviously. Man City, now away from home, I was quite surprised with this. 4 of their 5 Premier League games this year have seen two goals or less. For a team that plays such, free-flowing football, that's quite a surprise. They've also only conceded 1 away goal, Man City, this year in the league. So our main selection is going to be for under 2.5 goals, which is looking a bit of value at the moment. It's around 7-4, 2-1. Our correct score that we always like to give is for West Ham 0, Man City 2. I know that might upset you, Tony. What are you thinking?
Well, it's a game I'm going to actually get to after I finish my work. I'm going to whiz across to see the game. Listen, Man City are one of the best teams in the world, let alone the Premier League. Fantastic footballers. Looking forward to seeing Aguero play. He's one of my top players. You're right, West Ham have done well against the good teams, but they've done it through sitting back and then hitting them on the counter-attack. Beaten Manchester United already, drew Chelsea, lost at home to Spurs. So a big game for West Ham. I expect exactly the same tactics on Saturday. But I hate saying this because it's my team, but I can't see anything other than Man City win. I think they'll give them a game. I'm going West Ham 1, Man City 2.
Saturday 5:30, and we've got probably the game of the weekend, Tottenham versus Chelsea. Now, Tottenham have played 2 of the so-called Big 6 at home this year already. Lost 2-1 to Liverpool at Wembley, 1-0 to Man City. Also, they could have one eye on midweek. They've got a huge game in the Champions League against Inter Milan. Will that affect how Pochettino lines them up? We don't know. Chelsea, away from home, they've been great. They've won 4 out of 5 with the 1 draw away to West Ham. Morata, now he got on the score sheet twice against Crystal Palace. His confidence might be back. Hazard absolutely flying. We're going to edge this one to Chelsea. We're going to go for Tottenham 1, Chelsea 2, with our main bet just being Chelsea win.
I think it's an interesting game, this one. A lot of it always depends on the international break and the players coming back, whether there's injuries, fatigue obviously plays a part as well. I think it'd be a really exciting, enjoyable game to watch. Chelsea have done fantastic this year. I didn't expect them to be, unbeaten and doing as well as they have done. But I've got a sneaky feeling for Spurs, And again, as a West Ham man, I don't really like saying this, but I've got a sneaky feeling for Spurs. Harry Kane, he scored in midweek and that. So, I think Spurs will give them a really good game. I'm going to go Spurs 2, Chelsea 1.
So this is one where we're flipping the other way. 2-1 Chelsea for us, 2-1 Tottenham for you.
We are, yeah, but it's a close one to call and that, and we'll probably end up a draw. We'll both be wrong, but I honestly think Spurs will give Chelsea a real good game this weekend.
Sunday 1:30, we have Bournemouth versus Arsenal. Now Bournemouth, the surprise package of the season. Eddie Howe, what a job he's doing. Could be the next England manager once Gareth turns it in. I think he's fantastic. They've only lost once at home in the Premier League this season, and that was to an injury time goal by Marcus Rashford. So they're definitely difficult to beat at the Vitality. Arsenal, well, they did go on a winning run of 7 games in the Premier League, but they've now drawn their last 3. We don't think Bournemouth lose this game. Now, we're going to go for Bournemouth in the double chance market. For anyone that doesn't know, you get Bournemouth and the draw. Okay, and for a correct score, we like 1-1.
Yeah, see, I can't believe Arsenal. I really can't. I think they had a great run, but I look at them defensively, and they are all over the place. So I think they're due for someone to give them a bit of a battering, just purely because they can't defend. We know going forward they're fantastic, Arsenal. I think Arsenal will score. I think they will get the 1 goal, but I've got a feeling that Bournemouth, with their good home form, they were disappointing away from home last time out. I think Bournemouth they might just snatch this one. Arsenal are due a battering. Can Bournemouth get the 3 or 4 goals that I'm expecting Arsenal to concede one week? I very much doubt it. So I'm going to go for Bournemouth 2, Arsenal 1, which will be a big surprise.
Sunday, 4 o'clock, and it's Wolves versus Huddersfield. Now, Wolves, they're a team that we like a lot at Free Super Tips. Play very nice football, keep the ball in midfield, lack that cutting edge up front. Could maybe have done with you and your pump Tony up there banging the goals in. Now, here's a stat for you. 10 of their 12 Premier League games this year, there's been 2 goals or less. Okay, and this one as well, this one really shook me. Huddersfield, I know they're not exactly free scoring, but they've not scored 2 goals or more for 22 Premier League games, stretching back to last season. That's an amazing statistic. So we don't see obviously being a lot of goals in this game, but we do favour Wolves strongly. We're going to go for under 2.5 goals as our main selection, and we're going to go for a 1-0 win to Wolves.
Not surprising. I'm going to oppose you on this one. I think there will be goals in this game, but there won't be goals for Huddersfield because, you know, I think they've really struggled. As you mentioned, they've struggled to score goals. David Wagner's done a great job. He really has. Just to stay in the Premier League was an achievement. You just can't see where the goals are coming from. I've seen them a few times. They don't look like scoring, and they always look like conceding. This Wolves team, I think they've been threatening all season to score a bucket load of goals. Haven't really got the striker you mentioned. But I think they might put that right on at the weekend on Sunday, and I'm going to go Wolves 3, Huddersfield 0.
Monday, 8 o'clock, we've got the thriller, Burnley versus Newcastle. Now, I love me football like the next man, but I think I might be tuning into I'm a Celebrity and watch Harry Redknapp on Monday night instead of this. I think
you will be, yeah.
2 sides, very similar in ability. If you look at the league table as well, where they're positioned, I don't think a draw would be a bad result for either side. They've actually been 3 of the 4 times these two have met, it's been a draw. And we're going to go for that again, to be honest. We're going to go for a 1-1 with our main selection being the draw.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't agreed with you so far, but I am going to agree with you on this one. I'm going to go 1-1 draw as well. I think Newcastle have improved, had a few decent results last couple of games. After a really poor start, they have got some dangerous players, you know, like some Matt Ritchie who can make things happen and that. So I think they will score. Burnley, I think they're paying the penalty, unfortunately, for getting in the Europa League. Had a really sluggish start to the season as well. They need results, but you know they are, in general, they are hard to beat, Burnley, and with them being at home, it's just one of them. It's just such a hard game to call. Yeah. So I'm going to agree with you. I'm going to go Burnley 1, Newcastle 1.
And you're going to watch it?
I think I'm out that night.
Well, I hope you've enjoyed this week's edition of the Free Super Tips Premier League Tipping Challenge. Massive thank you to Tony Cottee for joining us.
Really enjoyed it. Thanks, mate.
We'll have a look over the weekend, see who come out on top.
Good luck, we'll see.
Yeah, and all that's left for me to say is enjoy your Premier League weekend.